Now we are going to see if all of you are ready with your papers and pen. We are going to take you through 10 basic questions, simple questions. The answer will be either no or yes. If the answer is no, you have to put 0. If the answer is yes, you have to put 1. Okay. So this is a small interactive session on the do's and don'ts of COVID.
This is small
And
papers.
this will be a small self-analysis and risk assessment for developing COVID infection. So if all of you are ready, the first question would be, did you visit a hotel, a coffee joint, a fruit vendor, a takeaway eatery, a function, temple, barber shop, etc. in the last 2 weeks? If your answer is no, you please put 0. If your answer is yes, then you can put 1 score for the first question. Question 2. Do you keep removing your mask in public in order to breathe? Do you go for morning walk in a group talking to each other? If your answer is no, your score is 0. If it is yes, your score is 1. Question 3. Did you sit or interact within 1 meter of your staff bar customer in your workplace, or did you attend a closed room board meeting in the last 2 weeks? If your answer is no, you can put 0. If it's yes, you can put 1. Question number 4. Are you driven by a driver? Are you allowing outside servants to enter your house and kitchen? If your answer is no, you can put 0. If it is yes, you can put 1. Question number 5. Do you use your cell phone outside the house without covering it in an airtight cover? Do you use watch, pen, belt, wallet, rings, tie, etc., which you do not wash every day with soap and water? If it is no, 0. If it is yes, 1. Question number 6. Are you entering your house after work and mixing with everyone in the house without having a bath? If it is no, 0. If it is yes, you have to give 1. Question 7. Do you order food from Swiggy or any other provider in the last 2 weeks? If it's no, 0. If it's yes, 1. Question 8. Are you a diabetic or a hypertensive or a heart patient or a cancer patient or a transplant patient or a dialysis patient? Any one of this. If it is no, it is 0. If it is yes, it is 1. Any disease, any one disease or more than one disease. Question 9. Are you having a doctor at home who comes back from work and mingles in the house with others without having a bath? If it is no, 0. If it is yes, 1. Question 10. Did you travel outstation or any one of your close contacts at house or at office traveled outstation in the last 2 weeks? If your answer is no, 0. If it is yes, 1. Now you have answered 10 questions and all of you will have different scores. Now see, add all your ones and that will be your score. To get a score of 0 is almost impossible. If you have a score of 1 to 3, then you have been very careful and you are at mild risk for getting the COVID infection. If you are having a score of 4 to 6, you are at moderate risk of getting an infection. If you are having a score of 7 to 10, then you are at severe risk of getting an infection. So now all of you will know whether you are very safe or you're at mild risk, moderate risk, or severe risk. Now that you know at what risk you are for having the infection, I'm sure that all of us have realized that we are all definitely at risk for getting this infection today. So now let us go and see how to be safe. So I will deal with a few tips to be safe. So we'll start with the morning. So we all go for walks in the morning. So go for walk alone, wear mask over the mouth. You can spare your nose, but pull it up when someone comes near to you within 1 meter. Don't chat during walk. After your walk, don't eat, drink, or have coffee with friends. And please don't hang out near coffee joints. So here we have a group going for walk without mask. Here we have a person alone, but he does not have a proper mask. He has only a kerchief. Here we have groups of people with mask and without mask close to each other. So definitely in the morning, these things are a definite no. And you need to walk alone and be careful and have a cap and mask completely covered while you're going for the morning walk. After the walk, I see a lot of people having a small snack or a coffee in the darshanis, which is a definite no. And many of us even go to small hotels thinking that the bearer is wearing a mask and is wearing a glove, but this is again a definite no. Hotels are providing social distancing by allowing people to sit only on 2 chairs in a table and by allowing people to sit only on alternate sofas. But I think this is a definite no. In the next few months, I think none of us should be eating outside if we care for ourselves. Again, going to temples where mask is being religiously practiced by the priests and others, and where distancing is enabled outside is also a definite no. Let us all pray within the house and let us not go to temples in the next few months. Now let us look at how we go for our work. When we go for work, please avoid belt, watch, ring, wallet, etc. Keep your credit card or required money, license, etc. in a Ziploc and leave it in the car. Avoid a driver. If you are old and you cannot drive alone, please screen your driver every day for fever, oxygen saturation. Give him a proper mask. Tell him to wear it continuously. Don't chat with him. If you are driving yourself, avoid automatic car keys. Keep duplicate keys which are washable if possible. So it is better to avoid drivers and it is better to avoid servants who come from outside. It is better to employ them and keep them within the house and not allow them to go home and come back every day. These things are absolutely not necessary in our daily life, and I think we should stop using all these and have a minimalistic attitude and go out and come back home without any of these things acting as substances which can actually bring back the virus. So what do we carry to work? We can carry a cell phone, which is very important today. However, you please carry it in disposable Ziplocs. Please buy Ziplocs and keep it in the car. As soon as you sit in the car, put the cell phone in the Ziploc. And then when you come back in the night, throw the Ziploc and bring only the phone inside. Take your lunch, snack, everything, whatever you need for the full day in plastic containers and in paper bags. Do not take washable carriers to the work. Keep a bottle of water permanently in the car and fill the bottle and and do not take back the bottle into the house. So keep the water bottle in the car and keep filling it in the car itself. If you are a person who has to take a laptop, file, bag, etc., please use them, but try not to take it back into the house, leave it in the car. But if you have to work in the house and if you have to take these things inside the house, then use a sanitizer, wipe it before entering the house, and have a designated area inside the house where you keep this, where children and old people and others do not touch it. Don't take these things which you take to work into your bedroom. Keep it in a small room designated outside in the hall or somewhere, and keep it only there and do not take it into the rest of the house. So you can take these safely, take your phone, keep it in a Ziploc, take your keys, which is washable, keep all the food which you require for the whole day in various small paper bags and plastic containers. Avoid eating in any eatery for the afternoon or evening for the snack. Coming to mask, it is a very important thing. Please buy masks which are washable. The mask should be big enough to cover the nose and mouth. It should be airtight. The main thing is the mask should be airtight on under the chin and around the nose and below the eyes. Don't keep touching it. When you have to eat food, remove the mask by touching the strings alone. Don't touch the main surface of the mask on the outside. Once you remove the mask, don't put it near you or keep it on your lap. Please have a plastic box and keep the mask in the plastic box. Eat alone when you're in the office and eat only after washing hands. Hands should be washed after the mask is removed and not after the hands should be washed actually after mask is removed and then you should eat. Do not remove your mask after washing the hands and then continue eating. Please don't give food or receive food from anyone, and don't touch the clothes, table and other substances and your cell phone which is in a Ziploc while eating. After eating, wash your hands, wear your mask and then continue touching other things. So this type of mask is what is necessary. This is a medical mask not required for general public. These are the masks which people have to be wearing, where it covers right from the nose to the chin and there is a wide contact with the skin which is almost airtight. The mask should be adequately covering above and also below. If you are in a sensitive area where a lot of people will be mingling with you, better to wear a head visor. These type of fancy masks which are very short, which do not cover either the nose or the mouth and keep popping up and down are complete no-no. Please adequately wear proper masks. In the office, if you have a board, if you are supposed to address a meeting like this, and if you are 60 plus, please do not stand here and address the meeting. You please do a Zoom call with them and do not enter into areas where large number of people are there, though they are sitting apart. And if your office is small and if multiple people are sitting here, I advise, if you are old and if you are vulnerable, please do not go into such areas and where social distancing is not possible. Now let's consider that we have finished our work and we are coming home. My advice would be not to come home in between for lunch and for snack and for rest and other things, because this is the time when we will bring the infection back because we have to go out again. So we need to come back home once everything is over. Leave the shoes in the car, don't bring the shoes inside the house. Remove the cell phone from the Ziploc, throw the Ziploc into a designated place in the car park itself. Go to bathroom directly. If you have a bathroom in the balcony, go to the balcony. If you can enter from a house from behind, enter from behind. Or if you are forced to enter from front, enter there quickly and go to the bathroom directly. First, wash your hands with soap and water. Remove your specs, car keys, mask and wash all of them. Then remove your clothes and wash the clothes yourself in Dettol and soap and dry them. If you are old and if you are not able to wash your clothes, please keep it aside for somebody to touch it after 24 hours. Take a bath with hot water, wear fresh clothes, and then only come into the house. These points at the end of the day are extremely important for us not to bring virus into the house. So when we come home, these are the things which we are going to bring back. The spectacles which we wear, the car keys which we have taken, the mask which we took, and the clothes which we wore. Of course, the wallet may be there, which if you can avoid and keep it in a Ziploc in the car, it is best. Then take a big, good shower and then enter the house. Now we will look at what will happen if you come into close contact with a COVID positive patient. This is a reality today. A lot of people are coming into our contact every day. And after 1 or 2 days, we are realizing that they have become COVID positive. Now, in this scenario, when you have had a close contact with either a relative or a friend or a colleague or a customer who is COVID positive, then we need to home quarantine ourselves for 7 days. These, there is some noise coming from the back. Now these, I think somebody's phone is not muted.
Prakash uncle, I request you to mute your phone. Prakash uncle, Kirti Prakash uncle. Mute cheskondi uncle.
Okay. So in case we come into contact with a COVID positive patient, the guidelines actually are not very strict for having a home quarantine. But I would advise that since the infection is rapidly spreading, that we take home quarantine for a few days. So what is home quarantine? Home quarantine is being in a separate room with a bath, eating in a separate plate, washing our own clothes or keeping it aside, not meeting anyone directly in the family. When you are inside the room, drink plenty of hot water, take steam with Vicks, have a betadine bottle and keep gargling every few hours. Eat lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, vitamin D, vitamin C and zinc. So this is how home quarantine has to be. Generally, after 6 days only it is advisable to do the test. So it is a little difficult to be at home quarantine, but it is advisable if we are at home quarantine. So once the government comes to know that we have come into contact with the COVID positive patient, then they will put a seal like this on our hand and they will request us to be in home quarantine. And the rules of home quarantine are laid down, where we are in a separate room, where we wear a mask, where we eat healthy food, where we do not share any of your things with the relatives, etc. And that can be practiced for about 5 to 6 days. Now, we are going out and coming in and interacting with hundreds of people. Now, how do we know whether we are on the beginning of a COVID infection? This is not something new, but very well-known fact. I will just summarize it for you. The warning symptoms of COVID infection are fever, low oxygen saturation, which can be known by a pulse oximeter, dry cough, sore throat, breathlessness, loss of taste, loss of smell, tiredness, diarrhea, running nose, headache, and body pain. Any of these points, if somebody is having, then better to think that it is COVID rather than brushing it off like a small viral fever or anything. And please discuss with your doctor as to see what can be done. So in a figurative manner, a fever, cough, breathlessness, chills, muscle pain, loss of taste or loss of smell, and newly diarrhea also has been added to the list of symptoms of early COVID infection. Now, if we want to get our COVID test, then the way is go to any hospital which will have a fever clinic. Tell them the symptoms or tell them your contact with a COVID positive patient. They will actually test you and approve you or reject you. If they approve you, then they will want your Aadhaar proof, address proof, and cell number, and 4,500 rupees, which is now reduced, I believe, to 2,200. Sample will be taken from the nose, and if you are symptomatic, they will take both from the nose and from the mouth. If you give the sample in the morning, you will get it in 6 to 8 hours. If you give it in the evening, it will come the next day. So sample is taken by using a long, smooth plastic needle, which has a thick cotton at the end. It is taken deep into your nose to the nasopharynx, and it can be taken through your mouth into the oropharynx. Once they reach the tip of the posterior or the back end of our throat, then they will be able to touch the surface where we will recognize it by the irritation which we get inside. A rolling movement will be done and these secretions will get onto the swab. The swab is removed and put it in a test tube, and then it will be sent for a RT-PCR antigen test, which can come positive only in 60 to 70% of the times. So by having a negative test, it does not mean that you are not having infection. 30% of the people with COVID infection will have a negative test of the COVID swab test. Now, what are the supplements which one can take? Because all of us understand that COVID infection comes very easily when the immunity is less, it is believed that these three things have to be taken to increase our immunity. Vitamin D sachet, vitamin C tablets, and zinc tablets. Along with this, please take all your other medication if you are on any medication. Use steam inhalation regularly, do betadine gargling regularly, and drink hot water do not eat or drink anything cold at all. So in India, this is the vitamin D is available as cholecalciferol granules. This can be put in water and taken once a week and in empty stomach. Vitamin C and zinc are available as a combination tablet. So basically, you need to increase your supplements of vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Medical reasons are there why only these three things are recommended. I don't think we need to go into the medical reasons. Now let us look at what are the helpful items one should keep at home if we are at risk for COVID. Electric steam inhaler, hot water thermos flask, thermometer, pulse oximeter, betadine solution, potassium permanganate powder, bleaching powder, face visor, and adequate masks. So here we have the photos. This is I am sure all of you know, this is a temperature sensitive detecting device. This is a pulse oximeter. For those who do not know, please buy the pulse oximeter. The logic works like this. COVID is an infection which, unlike other viral fevers, once it enters our body, it has a long incubation period. The incubation period can be from 2 days to 14 days. That means we may be completely asymptomatic and it will be slowly working its way into our lungs and destroying it. So once it starts infecting our lungs, the only way to know whether it has done something is by the pulse oximeter. A normal individual without background lung disease should have a pulse oximeter oxygen saturation of 100 or 99 or 98. So if we have COVID and we are silently suffering COVID, the pulse oximeter will fall below 85. So if anybody is having an oxygen saturation of less than 85 and is walking, talking, and moving around normally, then it is time he immediately reports to the doctor. Because the temperature may not rise in him, he may not be having cough, he may not be having any other symptoms. So pulse oximeter is an extremely important device which can be kept at home, where we have to look at our oxygen saturation twice a day, morning and evening. This is just a routine steam inhalation device. This is a thermos flask for hot water. This is betadine. Betadine is supposed to work on bacteria very well. And in COVID infection, to prevent bacterial contamination and to decrease the viral load, betadine is recommended. We need to gargle this and spit it out. Finally, balloons have to be kept at home. What is the theory behind this is when COVID enters our lungs, it will go and sit in the periphery of the lungs and it will start clogging the air spaces. So we need to open out these air spaces, and the only way is actually by pranayama. If somebody does not know pranayama, please blow balloons out in rapid movements, sustained rapid movements, and fill the balloon and allow it to deflate and keep inflating the balloon with the mouth. If one is old and cannot inflate the balloon with mouth, then you can have a straw and a flask and water and keep blowing bubbles into the water, which will also expand the lungs. And if you are having any type of symptom or suspicion in the night, please lie down, face down, because a majority of our lungs is in the back of our body. If we are lying face up, what happens? The lungs get crushed in the position where we are looking up and sleeping for hours together. Whereas if we sleep with our stomach down and back above, then the lungs do not get crushed, and then good air circulates into the lungs throughout the night, which is easily 6 to 8 hours. So practice lying on your belly and not on your back. So these are some of the things one should keep at home, which comes handy. Now let us say we have taken all the precautions, but unfortunately we have become COVID positive. Now, COVID positive patient will be known that he is positive only by the test result. Majority of patients in the beginning are asymptomatic. So as it stands today, if a patient is positive, then till today in Karnataka, the BBMP or the family welfare authorities will issue an information to you that your test has come positive, and they will direct you. Most of the times they come and then they take you physically to Victoria or Bowring Hospital. From these hospitals, then you can ask for a choice of private hospital from where they will give a referral letter. You can call the individual private hospitals and see if there are beds, and then you can be referred to a private hospital. As per the latest government directive, if a patient in a hospital for some other reason becomes COVID positive, then he can continue staying there and the hospital has to treat him for COVID. However, if the hospital is small and it is in a small nursing home, does not have ventilators or adequate facility, then the patient can be referred to back to government or to another private hospital. So this is the present protocol of COVID positive patients. And I think tomorrow onwards, the government is trying to open it out to multiple private people. Already a lot of private hospitals have been recognized. 560 or so hospitals, nursing homes have been recognized across the state for COVID admissions. In Bangalore, I think 16 government centers and multiple private centers have been recognized. A total of 1,600 beds have been allotted for COVID positive patients in Bangalore, out of which 160, 10% are ICU beds in the private hospitals. So this is the scenario which is actually very less for our population. So this is about how to go forward, what will happen if we are positive. So whoever has had a high score is definitely at a higher risk for getting the COVID infection. Let us not take it lightly, because this is all around us and this will attack us if we are not careful enough. And if it attacks us, majority of us will be asymptomatic or will develop little symptoms, and then by 3 weeks or 4 weeks we will get rid of it. But a small percentage of people who are old and who have comorbid problems will end up into the hospital. And once you end up into the hospital with symptoms, then the chance of undergoing a ventilation which will be much higher. Let us not give any chance for this a bad virus to bring us down from our beautiful lives which we have been having all these years, and let us not give it a chance to take us into the ventilator, because coming out of the ventilation is a great challenge. So it is very easy not to get into this troublesome end, because all we have to do is to follow rules. So I would complete my talk by saying that be aware. We are all aware. I may not have added much today at all, but I thought we should summarize everything so that people take it seriously. Be obedient. Now you have heard a lot of rules, lot of do's and don'ts. Kindly obey the do's and do not do the don'ts. Be safe, because you are very precious. And finally, I would like to say that your unnecessary, unwanted rituals which are done daily can be sacrificed for a few months. Nothing is going to happen. Thank you very much for a patient hearing, and I request Raman to take over and open the hall for discussion.